Political discontent is bringing protesters out to Egypt's iconic Tahrir Square again today. Supporters and opponents of Egyptian President Mohamed Morsi clashed in the square. They threw rocks at each other. The health ministry says at least 12 people were injured. We can go live now to journalist Mohamed Fahmy on the phone from Cairo. What's the situation in Tahrir right now, Mohamed?
Well, thousands of protesters went to Tahrir Square today for a protest dubbed accountability. They want the government to be accountable for the killing of the protesters. Not a single police officer has been convicted for the killing of the protesters. And also yesterday, the court acquitted 24 senior members of Mubarak's former regime who were implicated in the Battle of the Camel that happened last year in February. What happened is basically the Muslim Brotherhood followers destroyed a stage that was being built by some right-wing groups, and this is when the clashes started. Rock throwing, Molotov cocktails were thrown back and forth. The Ministry of Health just updated their numbers. There's at least 60 people who have been injured due to the rocks, and the situation at the moment seems to have simmered down a little bit, but it still remains tense in Tahrir Square.
I understand we have some new video. This is live or not, Sarah? Not live, but just moments ago, giving us a bird's eye view there of Tahrir Square. And if I can see correctly, it looks as though the crowds have thinned, Mohammed, but there's still people out there. I imagine there are fears that it might turn violent again.
Yes, definitely. The pockets of protesters have been dispersed. It has calmed down a little bit, but there is a chance of more violence, especially that in the side streets of Tahrir Square, which you don't see on camera right now, there are still some street battles ongoing, and there's also 2 buses that have been burned close to the museum, and they say that they belong to the Muslim Brotherhood supporters who have been bussed in from other areas in Egypt to Cairo for that protest.
And are there security forces on the ground there keeping the sides apart? What's the situation on that front?
There is no sign of any security forces, and I think that is well planned, because usually what happens is the protesters turn on the police, and like you've seen in many times, it turns into days and days of violence. So right now it's just some wise scholars who are trying to calm the situation, some religious people, personalities that are trying to calm the situation, but we're keeping an eye on the Tahrir Square as the story develops.
Thank you. Mohamed Fahmy is live in Cairo. That's a quick look at your